Hi everyone, this is Patty with Get Personal with Patty, and today I just wanted to do a video on everything that I rave about when it comes to the Budget Mom. This is the Budget Mom's workbook, and I want to start doing videos on a weekly basis of how I budget our money weekly. This will include some of my pay, and my husband gets paid twice a week, so twice a month, twice a week, yes, don't we all wish, right? Twice a month, and how that money, some of it stays in the business and some of it obviously goes to household. So for this video, we'll be rounding out some of the expenses just so you can see how I track it. And so let's get started. So the first thing I do every month is I print out this monthly budget sheet. And if you follow the Budget Mom or subscribe to her newsletters, this is one of the ones that you can actually download for free, so you don't have to buy the book. Again, if you're trying to save money, I purchase the book and I purchase the PDF so I can print my own pages as I need them. That's worked out really well for me. And then I put them in a happy planner with the discs and a book, a hardcover book. So it works for me. You want to make this about you. Budgets are personal. Make this about you and how it's going to help you and your family. I can say that I've been doing the Budget Mom since October, tweaking it monthly, and that we have savings. We have an emergency fund started. We have an emergency fund that gets money deposited into it on a monthly basis. And for the first time in a long time, we are just really ahead of the game. We do have some credit card debt. We're, slowly getting rid of that as well. Our goal is, by the end of this summer, this year, to be debt-free on some of our bigger credit cards. We're talking about a $3,000 and a $2,500, and then the small ones to be, completely closed out. So I use this page, the monthly budget, in the beginning of the month to track down what. Okay, so the next page is our actual month calendar. So that's part of the Budget Mom. She says to budget your whole calendar out so that you can at any time look back and see exactly what needs to be budgeted. And then each individual page here is the paycheck method. Now, remember that, and I've talked about this before, but just as a visual, the paycheck method, the Budget Mom method, is that you're budgeting paycheck to paycheck versus budgeting monthly, where it can be very overwhelming to some people. This is budgeting every time you get a paycheck. Now, for my household, that's 6 times a month. I get paid weekly, so that would be 4 weeks out of the month, sometimes 5. And then my husband gets paid twice a month. So some of his funds are business related, and some obviously go into our joint account to pay household bills. So we're going to go, into this. I'm going to go into this paycheck bill tracker method weekly to show you exactly an example. So for instance, this is my June 5th paycheck. And right up here in front, in the beginning, it's your income. So what was my joint? I deposit $100 a week into the joint account for bills. What I rolled over, which I have a cushion. It's only slowly starting to develop at $20 a week. And then we got some extra money, so that was income for this week. And combined all together, we had $11.60 to spend to budget in the week of June 5th. So I can go back to the calendar month and look at what in the first week needs to get paid. So we had there's not many bills that come out in the first of the month, so I have my cushion that I do on a weekly basis of $20, and that's just to have extra money in the checking account in case something were to happen, in case we had to pay a bill and I didn't think we had enough money. It's just a cushion. It's just to save us in the long run. We do have credit card debt, so we decided with some of the money, extra income that we earned this week, that we were going to pay a good chunk of change on one of our credit cards to start getting the balance lower. So we paid $400. So that's the two bills that I paid June 5th with the June 5th income. So you put that 40. Actually, I did put a cushion of budgeted $20, but then I actually saved, kept $40 as a cushion. Then I had our credit card that I paid $400 on. So that comes down here to $440. I would take $440 and subtract it from the income, put left over here, and then my envelopes. I have been doing cashless envelopes, but I recently started doing for the month of June envelopes. So automatically I went to the bank, withdrew $80 out for groceries to put in the grocery envelope. For dining out, I put $25 in the envelope. Childcare, I put $30 in the envelope. I'm doing a word challenge for savings in June, and the letter of June 5th challenge was worth $16. And for gas, it just says $14 because we do tend to use the debit card when we put gas in the cars versus the envelope. Eventually, I think we'll get a gas envelope. For right now, though, we have groceries, dining out, and childcare. Those are our 3 envelopes. And then, so you would add this up and deduct it from the balance that you put here. And then bring it up here. Sinking funds. Sinking funds are funds that we are depositing for something long-term. So Grace's birthday is in August. Right now we transfer $10 a week into a savings account online to help pay for her birthday. So I do that automatically. I highlighted orange for anything that gets transferred. If and when we do cash envelopes for sinking funds, I would highlight that in blue and then keep that in a cash envelope, which is something looks like this. I just got these cute little ones from Etsy. It's almost like I'm deciding what to use them for. But I really like them. They're cute, right? So I labeled them. I'm just not really sure what I'm going to use them for yet, but that will be eventually. I did buy some clothes for Grace. I estimated my budget at $100. I did spend $135.87, and I did estimate a $200 deposit into our emergency fund. That did not take place, so that's why there's nothing here. And then again, this is the same week based on that figure here that we started with, the June 5th paycheck. We were able to deposit in our own personal accounts for our own personal spending, $100 for Gary and $75 for myself. So that's really what this worksheet is about. It's about taking your income for the week, and income doesn't necessarily have to mean paychecks. This was my paycheck, a rollover from our joint account, and then also extra income that we got that week. And then adding that together and using that amount to pay bills, do that week. Because again, I'm a paycheck budgeter. I budget every paycheck we get. So we paid a couple of bills. We actually paid one bill, and we have a cushion of $40. Our envelopes, and we have our household, our groceries, and our dining out in envelopes, and childcare. So actually the 3 envelopes that we use on a regular basis right now is groceries, dining out, and childcare. And childcare really is an extra childcare. We do have 2 people that are childcare providers right now, but we actually give them a check just to keep track of it a little better. And then we do have some sinking funds. And again, remember that, actually don't remember, but this tracker that I'm going over with you is actually just for joint bills and the joint account. I do have my own personal account for the net of the rest of my weekly paycheck, and that I can go over another time or add to this video after the fact. But on this one here, we transferred $10 a week for Gracie's birthday. We also bought clothes for her, and then we had a little bit that we gave each other to spend as we wish. I don't spend $75 in 1 month. Certainly, I like to save it, but it's there if I need it for something. So my ending balance from the June 5th paycheck was $161.25. So that amount should be the same amount that I have in the joint checking account, which it is. I love when that happens. And that's the amount, $161.25, that we roll over for our June 11th and June 12th payment. So here's my second bill tracker for June 11th, June 12th. This is $161.25 is rolled over from the joint. And then in red on this one is business bills. So that's why it's a little different than, you know, the off week when it's just my paycheck. In income in red is what we get from the business as income, and then the business rollovers income, joint rollovers, that $161.25 that we just talked about. And then my usual $100 is deposited on a weekly basis. I'm going to save this paycheck to go over with you on Friday or Saturday once I tweak it. I'd like to get to a point where I'm doing these bill trackers 1 week almost ahead of the game. But for now, I do it when my paycheck is usually the same amount weekly. Certainly for the joint checking account it is, because I deposit $100 into the checking account. But sometimes it just differs just a little bit if I have any extra income that's in the paycheck. So that's it for now. That is the June 5th paycheck bill tracker. It's a great method. You can go on to www.thebudgetmom.com. She has a lot of good resources, and I hope you'll come back. Subscribe to my channel to get videos sent to you automatically, and check out some of my blog posts on Get Personal with Patty, and I will see you next week. Thank you.